Hello, everybody. I'm Stephen Glassford with the Frozen Lakes Report. Um, it's pretty much springtime. It's March 11th today, and I have with me 2 blocks of ice that I've cut out of Bde Maka Ska. That's where we are right now. I've cut out these blocks of ice, the one I'm sitting on, and this one about 2 months apart. So this one was cut out in middle of January, so it's about 2 months old and I put it in my freezer at home, and it looks pretty good. And then I have the second block, which I'm sitting on right now, and that one I cut out just a few minutes ago, right there. As you can see, both are kind of about the same thickness. So this thing right now I have right here, this metal thing is called an ice saw, and it is used to cut these blocks of ice out. It's a pretty cool piece of thing. But anyway, so both of these are about the same thickness, but if you can see pretty clearly, there is a significant, this block of ice right here, the older one from January, is a completely clear block of ice, right? It looks like a piece of glass almost. While the ice block that we have here, this one, it has a significant amount of honeycombing and cracking. So if I was to pick this block up and throw it on the ice, just on the ground, it'll probably break and shatter. So this ice is currently about 17 inches thick, or so 17 inches thick, but has significant amounts of candling, right? And then this block right here is also, this one is about 16 and a half inches thick. But again, I cut this out significantly long ago, about 2 months ago. So it makes more sense that this block is thinner than this block right here, because, ice grows over months. And, but as you can see, this ice block right here, the fresh one that I just cut, has a lot of candling in it. So you can see the grooves and such that are in it from when it shattered, from when I picked it up out of the ice. And and you can also tell that this ice block is very white. That means there's a lot of micro cracks inside of it, and there's a lot of deformations that are starting to form. While this piece of ice right here, it is white, but it's white for a different reason. It has frost on it because it's literally fresh out of my kitchen fridge. But if we were to wipe away the frost, it looks more blue and more like a regular piece of ice. So as time gets on and spring starts to thaw, a lot of people think that the ice, would melt from the bottom up and just kind of disappear. Well, that is kind of true, because the maximum thickness that Bde Maka Ska ever got was about 22 inches thick. So it was about, this piece of ice right here has lost about almost 5 inches of ice. Most of the deformation and the eventual breakup of the ice is actually going to be from the candling that is apparent in this new piece of ice. So while it is kind of confusing, it is generally pretty simple to understand that as time goes on, the ice gets thinner, but it doesn't really get thinner, it just weakens. So you're more likely to fall through, but you're more likely to break through the ice as the spring comes. So today is March 11th, 2022, and unfortunately the ice it has 100% candling. So this is the bottom of the ice sheet, and this is the top of the ice sheet. And for the most part, most of the ice around the lakes has probably about 5 inches of snow cover on it. So that means there's a lot of slush on the top layer of the ice, or there's just no ice at all. So today is a kind of a colder day. So most of the perimeter of the lakes is starting to thaw. um, and it's starting to thaw quite a bit, and it's very hard to get onto most of the lakes in Minneapolis. Currently, I'm a Bde Maka Ska, so obviously I got on, but I also have rubber boots that go up to my knee. So most of the water that it takes to get onto the ice, it gets to about 2 feet deep, and like I can handle that amount of water, but most people can't. So for the most part, the water and the ice in Minneapolis is basically closed. There are kind of a few places that you can get to in the southern parts of the lakes that have less ice because the southern parts of the lakes have more ice on them than the northern parts because the southern part has shade that's given from the trees because the sun in Minneapolis comes from the south, and since the south has more trees, it has a shadow casted onto the water, and it protects the ice from melting more from the sun. But the northern shores have much less shadow cover, which means that there's uh, a lot less shadow coverage that makes the ice more permeable and more likely to thaw. So the northern shore of Bde Maka Ska, I couldn't get on. I'm at the southern end of Bde Maka Ska, and the more northern you get on the main ice sheet, the thinner it gets. So this ice block right here is taken probably 150 yards away from the shoreline, uh, and there were some spots that I measured currently on Bde Maka Ska that were only 9 inches thick. So 9 inches thick is only from here to the ground. That's a lot of ice deformation. So the ice is really close to becoming completely gone, having a complete failure and total breakup. So depending on who you are, that's either a good thing or a bad thing. For me, I like the ice, but it is time for spring to come, and I'm excited for the birds and the flowers and the bugs and all that returns with the ice. But I hope you like this video, and I hope you will continue on following the ice report or the frozen lakes report until probably the first day or the last couple days of March. First day of April is the last time, was my last communication. And last year, so this year, the last communication will probably be about the same time. But again, I hope you had a good, hope you're excited for this springtime. Most of the ice in Minneapolis is not safe, I will say. So don't be trying to go out. I haven't seen very many other people go out on the ice. But again, this is what candling looks like, honeycombing. So when I say there's a lot of honeycombing on the ice, these veins of ice are what I'm talking about. It's very rough. It's very geometric. Thank you. That's what candling looks like when you break it. See how easily I was able to break that? That's easy. Like, it just shatters completely. This is the main chunk of ice that I'm standing on. Easy to break. Meanwhile, this piece of ice right here is ice that I collected about 2 months ago in January. If I drop it, it's probably not going to shatter. It might break, but it won't shatter. See, completely solid. So as spring comes, ice gets weaker because it's more able to break, not because it gets thinner. Pretty cool, eh? I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, that baby ain't shattering.